Today I had a dream, a regular dream, I was just chilling and I go to my so-called job. It takes place in the future, apparently, my dream, and I go to an office and I go to my office, I sit down, it's like, it's a nice white room, there's like a big windows and stuff where the sun comes through and stuff. It's a beautiful, and in the city's all beautiful and everything, and I open my computer. And it's the freddybro The End series. Like, it's legit, it has a file and everything. And I'm making the freddybro The End series come to life. And it looked absolutely amazing. Like, I'm so emotional talking about it. Like, it's like the future's telling me, like, this is going to be you one day. Getting all this together and stuff. And it's just so beautiful of everything. The things I've seen. It's like, I wish you guys can see it, but it's actually like something that's going to stay in my brain forever because I actually saw it. Like, it's like, it's like a real series, like a real show, like a real animation. It looked incredible. It's like I'm jumping into the future or something in my dream, and it looked so damn amazing. And it was for the first freddybro The End, and there were a lot of changes. It was longer and stuff. And that's what I'm going to talk about. All the changes, all the things that are similar and stuff. The things I saw and stuff. I want to talk about it because it's crazy. And this may happen one day. And there's definitely a lot that, I didn't hate anything about it. There was nothing I hated about this. And there were some other characters that, were in it that were supposed to. Wow, I didn't think that this character would be in it or something. But let's just say, long story short, it was an amazing dream. I saw the freddybro The End characters and stuff. The series, some scenes, the voice acting, the ending, the final fight. It looked incredible. It looked like a real anime. And that's what made it so special. Especially since these are my characters. And it really gets me emotional because I actually saw what it could turn out to be. And this was only the first freddybro The End. It wasn't any of the sequels. And wow, it was just automatically on point. I already love it. So now I'm going to explain to you what I saw. The first scene I saw was Freddy. It was Freddy on top of a building. He looked extremely accurate. He looked just like the OC in Gacha. It looked like exactly the same. They didn't even change anything about him except for the hands, which I'll talk about soon. It's like you got the Gacha OC, you clicked on it and dragged it to the computer and popped it in the animation video. That's legit what it was. He looked just nothing different. Looked exactly like the OC in the Gacha. But animated. He moves his head, he talks, his hands are different though. Instead of his hands looking like this, they look like actual 5 fingers, actually like a regular human wrist. Besides that, he looked extremely accurate. Just like the other OCs. All the other OCs had their hands like that. So the hands were different. But besides that, everything looked exactly the same. The eyes, the hair, everything. And it was just so awesome how the animation was going. Freddy was on top of the building looking all serious. And his hair was moving and stuff. And the whole, it takes place in a town. And it's a big, nice city. He's on top of the building, but everything's on fire, all destroyed. Glasses and, buildings are destroyed and stuff. And Freddy just runs and jumps off the building, grabs his sword. And the sword looks exactly the same from the Gacha series. But he grabs his sword and stabs the ground of another building. He goes on top of another building and uses it to slide. He stabs the roof of the building and slides with it, holding the sword. And he's on one knee looking up. He's looking up at something. And it's an amazing shot. You see the scene of him just sliding, it stops. He's on one knee holding onto the sword. He looks really serious and pissed off. And then he gets up and looks, and from a far distance it zooms in. It's darkness, and darkness floats up from one of the buildings and his hands are out, but Darkness looks completely like, well, not completely, but Darkness has a lot of differences from the Gacha OC. He doesn't look exactly the same as the Gacha OC. It actually has a lot of different changes. With Darkness, he's more darker. Like I don't know how to describe it, but when it comes to design, his hands were completely different. They were bigger, and they were sharp claws, and like it didn't look like hands out, like sharp claws that were bigger, and it didn't look like he was wearing his jacket. It looked like everything was just like, you know, in the flesh. But besides that, he had like, you know, his belly, you know, he had like, you know, his body, and then the purple belly and stuff, and you know, the purple around his wrist, he did not have that. It was gone. It just connected all dark, and he had his purple eyes, but his purple eyes were more round. And he also had a top hat. He actually had a top hat. But it was dark, just like his fur. Well, it wasn't actually fur, because it didn't look like he was wearing any hair. Like, you know, his hair, it looked like it was not there. Like, it was just like all like gone, but in a good way. Like, he actually looked more like an overlord type of being. Like, he looked serious and he looked scary. Like, you don't want to mess with this guy. He looked different, but in a really good way. And it still looked like Darkness, you know? You can tell it's still Darkness, but with a lot of differences. Like, he got a little bit of a makeover. And Darkness just stares at Freddy and flies towards him. And Freddy runs on top of the building, and they're running towards each other. Freddy runs towards him, and Darkness flies towards him, and the scene cuts right there. And that was, I believe, for the final act, because not all the scenes are in order. But that was the first scene I saw, and it was incredible. I just wish you guys saw it, because it was a real animation. And it legit, Freddy looked so accurate to the Gacha OC. And Darkness looked completely different, but in a better way. He looked better than the Gacha version. And he and Freddy just looked amazing. Like, they're going to put off, like, an amazing final fight scene. And I was like, yo, I want to see more. I want to see more of this. And there are a lot of other scenes I saw. The second scene I saw was a fourth wall break. And the first voice line I heard. So we see Star and Jammy sitting on two different couches, like looking at each other, just all confused. So Star and Jammy look completely the same, extremely accurate, just like Freddy was, completely the same. But they're looking at each other and they look at the screen. And then Sun appears and starts jumping all excited. So it's the young kid version of Sun. Like when she's a baby. So she jumps in front of the camera and grabs the camera and looks at it like, and she says, "Hello everyone watching, how you all doing today?" So she's breaking the fourth wall, and Star and Jammy look at each other, look at Sun like, who are you talking to? Like, all confused because they don't know that Sun's breaking the fourth wall. And Sun had a different voice. Sun sounded very young. She had a really cute, sweet, innocent child voice, but she was you can tell like the voice, she's excited, very hyper and stuff. It was really adorable. It was very adorable. And yeah, the characters looked exactly the same, just like in the series. Completely the same. Now, another scene where I think it shows more of the plot, it's the military. And the military are shooting at Freddy. I know, wow. So, what I saw when I gathered from it is that the military are after Freddy because Freddy is an angel and the government is after him. So the government are after him, I guess, because they want to know, like, he's an angel, how does it work and stuff. They want answers and stuff. And they're all shooting at Freddy and stuff. There's tanks and everything. But the thing is, which is different from Freddy, is that Freddy's not bothered by it. Freddy, and this is where it gets weird, because, like, Freddy's not exactly the same like in the series. Freddy is more cocky. He's more like excited for the action. Like, you know how in the series Freddy wants a break and all and wants to be with his family and not get into any more adventures. Well, in this, he's all up for it. He's all ready and excited. And he's so cocky, especially in his new voice. He hasn't talked yet, but I heard the voice and his voice is deeper. But he still sounds like a teenager. He sounds like a teenager still, but he has a deeper voice and it sounds like a cocky voice. He has so much confidence in himself, and he's not afraid at all. Like, nothing scares him yet. It really fit the character. It definitely fit the character more than my voice, I think. I'll try my best to see if I can find similarity to it. But so with Freddy, they're all shooting. The military's shooting at him, and he's not even in his angel form yet. But he's smiling, and he runs through, the city while they chase him, and he's just all happy. Like, he's running like he's Sonic, jumping like he's Mario around the whole city while the military's after him. All these soldiers shooting at him, he's just dodging it and everything. And he's running, all smiling, like ready for it, sliding around and stuff. And then something crazy happens. It turns out Freddy has some kind of moves. So, you know how Sonic the Hedgehog has like a spin dash and stuff? Well, Freddy has his own move here. Freddy does a spin. So you know how, like, Crash Bandicoot does, like, a spin like that? And, just like he spins and hits his enemies. Well, Freddy goes in the air and goes sideways. He goes sideways and does, like, this weird spin. And it's called the airport spin, which I don't understand. But yeah, it's called the airport spin, and that's what it was. And every time he hit an object like a building or a car or a truck, it blows up, and he bounces off of it, and he does a salute, like a soldier. He does a salute with two of his fingers and smiles, and does a salute and lands back on his feet and runs to do it again. Like, it just reminded me so much of, like, Sonic, but in his own way. How he just does the airport spin, and then does the salute after he hits someone with it, or hits something. And there's one scene when he does the Darkness. He jumps on Darkness's head, and does a salute, and Darkness gets all mad and pissed off with him. And I liked it. I really thought it was cool and funny. So there have definitely been some changes to Freddy's character and some stuff he's been added, which I really liked. The scene ends with Freddy beating up the soldiers in this building, and then he slides through past some of them and gets in the elevator before it closes on him. But he gets in just in time, slides in, and he escapes, and he looks up, and then the scene ends. So that was, again, another cool scene, and the military's after Freddy, which is crazy, so the plot's different. And then another scene is Freddy fighting Zero. So Zero looks completely the same, just so you know, the exact same design. And Freddy is fighting Zero not in the woods, some kind of park it looks like. But it looks similar to the woods, but like, it's like, maybe like the entrance, I'm not sure. I can't describe the scene, but it was in nature somewhere, but not in like a deep woods or anything, where it was like a few trees around, but it was public. And it's raining and dark, and Zero and Freddy fight, and Freddy and Zero are both bleeding, and like they have bloody faces, but Freddy starts hitting him with punches non-stop. He's just punching the living crap out of him in the head non-stop, and Zero's just getting hit after hit after hit after hit until Zero backs up into a tree and Freddy grabs him by the neck. But Freddy lets him go, and Freddy looks actually serious and upset about something, but he lets him go, and Zero just falls down to the ground on his knees and his arms on the ground, is coughing, and Freddy just looks at him all just angry, but then walks away. So I don't know what that scene was, but I think he did something to piss Freddy off. It was crazy. Another scene was with Virus from Freddy Billion 4, the evil version of Freddy. It was nothing special though. It was just Virus running And then he jumps and does a spin in the air, and he has guns, and he just shoots a bunch of them. He just shoots the gun randomly. It was like he jumps in the air, and he does a spin, and he's just shooting around for fun, and then lands on his feet. And that was it. There's one scene about that. There's this one scene. So I don't know why Virus would be in the first one, but there was a scene right there. He looked exactly the same, like in the series. No difference. There are two scenes, I think. Yeah, two scenes with Vincent. Vincent appears, and Vincent looks incredible. Like, he looked exactly the same design, except that he didn't have a tail. He did not have his tail, but he looked incredible. And wow, like, he looked scary as well. Just like Darkness, he looked scary. Like, he had his hands behind his back, and he's walking up these stairs, and he's looking down, like he's looking down at someone. And it looks like he's in this type of warehouse. And there's like a big, like, yellow light, like there's a big fire or something. But Vincent is looking down, looking like upset, like, or like unimpressed, like unamused. He did not like. He looked like he was like bothered by something, and he was looking down while he was walking up the stairs. But he looked intimidating. He looked incredible. I think Vincent was probably the best model. Like, Vincent looked the best out of all the characters. He looked incredible. Exactly the same, and looked extremely incredible. And then we go to another scene with Vincent. Vincent sitting on his throne. So Vincent has this weird throne that's all silver, which is weird because he's a werewolf and he should be scared of it, but he's not. And he's just laying his head, like his head on his fist, while he just has his fist on his, throne, and he looks unamused again. He looks unamused, and he's just staring. And then at some point, he just rolls his eyes. It lasts for like 7 seconds. He's just sitting, and he rolls his eyes for like a few seconds, and that's it. So, again, I don't know why Vincent would be there, but he was. He looked amazing. I think Vincent was the best one in the entire thing I saw. Then we have another one with Ice. It showed Ice appearing, just walking. Ice was just walking, and then she gets her wand and aims it at the camera. And at first she looks upset, like pissed, but as she aims at the camera, then she smiles. So, like, I guess, like, she's like ready for something, ready to fight, and then she just shoots. And then it just ends right there. So I'm not sure. She was just aiming the wand at the camera and then just fires like this. She fired this like Saiyan spear. It wasn't like ice or anything. It was a spear or something. I'm not sure. Like a laser spear. And that was pretty much it for any surprise characters. There was I think those are all the characters. I'll go back to some scenes I saw. There was a title card, which looked amazing. The title card was freddybro, and then down it said the end. Not the way I have it, where it's freddybro, and then at the bottom is end. No, it's freddybro, and then the end at the bottom. So only 2 lines. But the logo was different. The letter in the text was the capital F and a capital T for the. And everything else is lowercase. And then everything, like, it's all, the text is flame. Like, it's fire. Like, there's fire effects on top of the flame. And it's still Freddy Bro the End, but everything, the text is orange, reddish, animated with fire. And then the sword, where it says Freddy Bro, where the O's at the end, there's a sword that, Freddy's sword comes in and just cuts the O. And it stays there as part of the logo, and it looked incredible. It looked incredible. I wish I could draw and animate it, but I can't. But it looked incredible. Like, wow, it looked amazing. And then, so that was the logo. So then, we got a little bit of the intro song. So there was a song for the intro, but I didn't see any of the intro. It just showed like the soundtrack. It was only like a little bit. The lyrics was Freddy Bro the End, Freddy Bro the End, you have to know this is the end. Freddy Bro the End, Freddy Bro the End, you have to know this is the end. And that was pretty much all I heard of the song. It was catchy. It was a catch. But that was pretty much it. It's like Freddy Bro the end, Freddy Bro the end. This, you have to know this is the end. Freddy Bro the end, and it did that like 3 times, and then that was the end. Like at the end of it, it's like, this is the end. So that was pretty much all I heard of the intro song, but not really special. So there was a little bit of that too. And then, oh boy, trying to think of the next scene I saw. I think it was, the Angel Freddy. Yeah, we saw Angel Freddy appear. So the Angel Freddy was up in the sky. So there was clouds and everything. It was sunset and it looked beautiful. The detail looked amazing. The sunset and the clouds were like, it looked like he was in heaven, but he wasn't. He was just where the high in the sky where the clouds were. And it was Angel Freddy just flying, and his angel form looked exactly the same. And he does he puts his arms behind his head, and then looks at the camera and smiles and winks, and then flies down. And that was pretty much all we saw. So he flies for like a few good 5 seconds, then he turns to the camera with his hands behind his head and smiles and winks, and then flies down. And that was it of that scene. The angel form looked incredible though. It reminded me so much of Super Sonic. I got a lot of vibes of Freddy looking so similar to Sonic. And it was crazy. Now, another scene is with the airship. There's an airship, and Freddy's son and Jamie are there, and Freddy's running. Freddy's running to it, and the door's about to close, but Freddy gets to it, and then, for some reason, instead of joining them, he kisses Star, and it's kind of weird. I don't like it, but whatever. He kisses Star, and then jumps back down. And he said, I'll meet you guys back at home. And he does a salute again, like usual. And he runs back. And then he goes to this wooden mansion thing. And another thing I noticed about what Freddy did a lot, he went on the tree vines a lot. And, tree wood things. And he kept doing spins. Like he was on a pole and spinning around. He was trying to jump or something. He just kept doing it around. I don't know how to describe it. He just kept going on these poles and stuff. You know, how you hang your hangers and stuff. He just always went on top of them and spin, and then jumped and went to another one. And he did it really fast. So, that was some similarities, too, to Sonic. I'm like, he's doing a lot of, things Sonic would do. But yeah, so he did that too. So he likes to go on things and just spin a lot. So what I noticed about the OC Freddy's personality, he's also really athletic. He's very athletic. So that's another thing I've seen with Freddy's character in the show. And he goes to the mansion, and Darkness is on top of the tree looking down at him. And now get ready for this scene. This scene is dark and crazy. So this scene, Darkness kills Zero. Yeah, he absolutely murders Zero. So Zero's on the ground, and Darkness he stretches his arm, like he does in the series. He stretches his limb, and he has Zero hanged by his arm, and he throws him up in the air, and he shows his claws and stabs him. He impales him through his stomach with his arm, and he's still floating in the air. And then he rips his hand off, like Darkness, not Zero's hand. Darkness gets his hand and uses it to break him into two. Like Zero just gets cut in half, and it's gore and his blood everywhere. It's all gore, and Darkness just stands over him and says nothing. And I'm like, damn. She's scary. Darkness looks actually scary. And another scene is when Freddy's trying to sneak around in the mansion. He steps on this rope, and this gets, trapped. So the rope grabs his leg, and then he's upside down, one leg hanging. and the rope has his leg attached, and Darkness comes, and we finally hear his voice. Darkness has the same exact voice that I gave him, but it sounds better. Like, there's like no effect to it. Like, he sounds like actually like alive and a human, but it's still the demon voice and it's demonic, but it's like better. It's no like effects and stuff. Like, it actually sounds like good audio and stuff. And Darkness, he flies and floats to Freddy, and he points at him, and he says, "It's you I hate the most." And then closes his fist like he's gonna punch him, but he just doesn't. He turns away and floats away, and Freddy looks confused, like, huh? And that's the end of that scene. And then it cuts to the final battle. Wow, the final battle. Wow. So, the final battle, I didn't see all of it, but it was some scenes I saw in the final battle. If you don't want to get spoiled, it's your last chance to click off. But here we go. So the final battle was Freddy and Darkness in the building still, but it's on fire. Everything's on fire, and they're both looking around, and they're both just walking in a circle, looking at each other, just looking like really intimidated. And then Darkness uses his like powers. So he uses like he also has telekinesis. He uses like power to like summon like wood and stuff and try to throw them at Freddy, and also some rocks and giant rocks and boulders, and throws it at him, but Freddy uses his swords to cut through them and stuff. And at some point, Freddy's running from Darkness, and Darkness stretches his arm out and grabs Freddy, but Freddy, he just looks at him and laughs, and then goes into his angel form, breaks out, and then like flies and towards him, and they start fighting, and it just shows the silhouette of them in the building on fire of white and black, because Freddy's the white angel and Darkness is the black demon. That sounds wrong, I'm sorry. And there's some fighting going on, just like them, just like hitting each other like these non-stop. And then I think it cuts, and then it also goes to Darkness, Freddy back to being human, and Darkness punches Freddy. Freddy flies in the air, and he just flies in the air through the roof and stuff. Darkness goes and kicks him down, and Freddy crashes down to the wood, and Darkness kicks him when he lands as well. But then I think, so Freddy is like on the floor, just like beat up, and Star shows up. Star shows up and tells Darkness to just stop, and Darkness goes to stab Star, but Freddy gets up just in time and gets stabbed. And Freddy gets, just like with Zero, Freddy gets impaled. But he doesn't like rip Freddy in half. He just lets go. And Freddy falls in front of Star. And Freddy's just bleeding out. Star is holding on to him and crying. But then Freddy is just like, closing his eyes. But then he opens his eyes and Star kisses him. And that gives Freddy the power to get struck by lightning. And Freddy is once again in his angel form, and he's ready to fight. And Freddy floats up, looks at Darkness, has no fear. He looks ready. And I think that was like when he transformed into his angel form and stuff. Again, whatever. And it looks great. Like, it looks like incredible. Like, it's all white and stuff, the effects, and Stars just cheering Freddy on. And Freddy and Darkness fly together, start flying again. And it ends with Freddy, hitting, he headbutts Darkness. He flies and headbutts him. And then flies around him, and Darkness has no idea what to do, similar to the animation where Freddy flies around him, he doesn't know what to do, and Darkness is shocked. Similar to that. But then Freddy flies to him, and Darkness punches Freddy in the face. But Freddy takes it. He takes it like a champ and smiles, and then flies through it. Like, he just smiles and pushes him up. And Freddy hits Darkness a bunch of times. And Darkness is dizzy. And then Freddy flies around him more to mess with him. And Darkness has no idea what to do. And Freddy goes and punches him one more time. And Darkness flies away. Just like in the first Freddy Bro, the end. Just flies away to the clouds, into the sky, and never to be seen again. But then he comes back. It's not over yet. Darkness comes back and attacks Freddy again. Freddy's still in his angel form. And they go to space for a few seconds. They fight up there. But then Freddy pins Darkness down. He drags him down. They go back to the building. And Star falls off somehow. I forgot how, but she falls off. So Freddy has to save her, but he's still fighting Darkness. And Freddy turns back to normal. I think is when they fell. Yeah, Freddy and Darkness, when they crash back into the house, whatever, Freddy's back to normal in his regular human form, his mortal form. But Freddy sees his sword, and Darkness charges at him, and Freddy grabs his sword, and they both charge at each other, and Freddy stabs and impales Darkness, killing Darkness. So Darkness dies in this. So he doesn't come back for the sequel, it looks like. He actually dies in this. And Freddy impales Darkness and stands over him. And then Freddy runs to save Star. Star's falling, about to hit the ground. But Freddy comes through one of the windows, and this is like a really cool shot. The shot I saw. It's slow motion. And Freddy, out of nowhere, comes through one of the windows. Both his arms out and stuff. And turns into his angel form once again and catches Star at the last second. And then they escape together into the sky. And Star's holding on to him. Freddy in his angel form is holding on to Star. And that was the end of the final battle. And it was just crazy. I wish I could explain it more better and stuff. But that's what I saw. And it looked incredible. And then the ending. The ending was Jamie and Son waving goodbye at Freddy and Star for some reason. I'm not sure. I think they went to go... I guess they were going on a trip or something. I'm not sure. They said they had to go somewhere. They'll be back soon. And Freddy and Star wave goodbye. And they go. Jamie and Son, well, they hold hands and leave through the crowd. They're in the town where there's a whole bunch of people crowded and stuff. And Freddy... This is when we finally hear, like, Freddy's voice. Where you hear, like, the deep voice and stuff, like I've been talking about. And Star talks. Star sounds exactly the same. Same voice actor, Foxy. She sounds exactly the same. And it's great. Yeah, she does great. But for some reason, Star is, like, trying to, like, again, like, oh, since you're busy now, since they're going to be gone for a while, you want to go out? And Freddy's like, nah, in a cocky voice. He's, I don't want to go out. And Star keeps trying, like, oh, come on, smiling. She's like, okay, if you go on a date with me, I'll leave you alone for a day. And Freddy and Star both turn, their backs facing the camera, and they're both walking into the crowd, just talking. And Star's like, how about I'll leave you alone for 5 days, take me out on a date. And Freddy's like, nah. And it just zooms out away. And Star's like, okay, I'll leave you alone for a week. And Freddy's like, maybe. And Star's like, how about I leave you alone for a month? And Freddy's like, okay, fine. And then Star just cheers like, yay! Finally, I'm gonna win your heart over. And Freddy's like, I doubt it. And that was the end. And it cuts to black, and that was the end. So, I don't have the full story yet and stuff, but what I got from it was Freddy, the same thing. Darkness is after Freddy for revenge for his mother. And Freddy has the angel form because of that. But it looks like it's not just Darkness who's after Freddy. The government's after Freddy because of his angel form. And Zero's obviously there and stuff. I don't know why Vincent, Virus, and Ice were there, but I saw them. And that was cool to see them. But, yo, the characters look exactly, like, on point. There was a lot of action in it, and it looked amazing. Just seeing the characters in animation looked so beautiful. And the voices were on point. Star was the same voice actor, but sounded way better. Like, it just sounded like proper mic and stuff. And same thing with Darkness. He had the same voice, but the effects were better. And he had more, more like, he sounded more human anyway, even though he was a demon. And I didn't hear Zero, Vincent, Ice, Jamie. I think it was mainly Sun, Freddy, Darkness, and Star who talked. And Yeah, Freddy had a different voice. Someone had a different voice. Son sounded way younger and stuff, but more cheerful. And Freddy sounded more cocky and more like ready and just more mature, but also had a deep voice and stuff. Like he was just like more older, but also cocky and ready. And he was excited for the adventure and the things we gave him. You know, he had his sword, he had the angel form, but he also had a few other things. He had his own move called the airport spin. And he always did a salute. Every time he hit that move off, he did a salute, which I thought was cool. And I really enjoyed it. Like, that was pretty much all I found in it. And it was all on my computer and stuff. And it looked amazing. And it made me want this to be a real series. It makes me want me... Like, it's like God's telling me, yo, this is going to happen one day in the future. This is what it's going to look like. Like, it's like showing me, like, the future. Like, yo, get ready. Because this is what it's going to look like. And it looks amazing. It was so beautiful. The animation. I get emotional talking about it. I wish you guys saw it. Because it was just so amazing. You couldn't believe it. It's like you got the real gacha models and just put it on top of the TV and the animation. The animation was on point. The action, the story was on point, you know? It was just so much action and stuff. It's like you were watching anime, but like a different style of it with the Freddy Bro the End cast. And it just looked so awesome. It just looked so clean and awesome. It looked so original and everything. The characters, the design, everything was there. Now, not all the characters were there. I didn't see Freddy's parents. I didn't see... I don't know if I changed the backstory of Freddy in Darkness, but that's what I thought was going on. Like, it looks like because Darkness is after Freddy for a reason, you know? It's probably because of the same reason. But the military going after Freddy, that was crazy. And how just Freddy just dealt with everything like nothing. Like, Freddy showed no fear. And he showed that he was ready for it. Like, he's like, okay, more adventure. He gave me so much Sonic vibes. Like, it was like Freddy's like the new Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, he was ready and just prepared for it. And I think there's some other scenes I probably missed, but that's pretty much all that comes to the top of my head right now, were those scenes. I think there was one scene I didn't mention was Freddy sleeping, and you know how, like, there's, like, an air bubble where, like, you know, a character sleeps on their nose, an air bubble, and Freddy's just sleeping, chilling, and in the corner of the bed, you see Star slowly rise up with that yandere face, stare, and jumps on him and tries to kiss him, and Freddy's just fighting her back, pushing her back, like, get away, get away. I think that's the only scene I forgot to mention. Maybe there's other scenes I forgot. But, yeah, there was a lot of cool scenes, and it was amazing. I really, really hope this happens one day. It looked incredible. It looked amazing. It looked beautiful. It was really there. It was there. The real Freddy Bro the End series, the intro, the title card, the designs, the characters, they were there. The voices, they were there. And it looked absolutely amazing. It looked like a real animation. That's what I want. I hope it happens one day. And I know there's going to be changes and stuff. And the changes I saw in the series looked amazing. Like, Freddy, man, Freddy's characters just somehow got better. Like, he's not all, like, tired of, like, being like, oh, I gotta save the world again. Damn it. Well, it looks like he's more excited to save the world. He's more, like, into it. It looked amazing, man. It looked incredible. And I just wish you guys were able to see it. Who knows? Maybe one day we can get this to happen. I'm going to try to make this happen, since I'm going to go to college soon. Wow. Just wow. I hope this happens one day. I know it's a long video, and I apologize, guys, but wow. This looked amazing. This is what I want for the series. This is what I want to happen. And I hope I get dreams about the sequels, man. Because this was just the first Freddy Bro the End. It was obviously the first one. I hope we get something with a sequel, you know, showing the Power Stones in action and stuff. I hope we get to see that. And I hope we get to see more sequels with, you know, like Freddy Bro the End 3, Freddy Bro the End 4, 5, and 6. That would be cool if we can see that. I already saw the first one and it looks amazing. Like, wow, I hope we get to see more with the sequels and future seasons. Because that would be cool. Maybe even the spin-offs. Who knows? Maybe we can get at the Darkness spin-off and stuff. I'm not sure we'll go the same route and stuff. But it looked amazing and incredible. I just wish you guys were there to see it with me. You guys would love it. Thanks for watching, guys. That was all. That was pretty much everything I saw, I think. Unless I am missing things, I'll let you know if I did. But everything looked amazing. If you guys had questions and stuff, let me know. I can let you guys know about it and stuff if you guys want to know, like, certain things or, like, how it was or, like, you know, any interesting questions you guys have for it. Like, oh, did this happen? Did this, how do they look? Or, like, you know, something like that. Let me know because, yo, it was just amazing, on point. So much detail. It was great. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys got excited just as much as I did. I hope that gave you guys a really good vision. Who knows? Maybe people will actually make fan art and stuff and make, like, actually, like, cool scenes with the characters. Or, like, someone actually makes the Freddy Bro the entitled card I described. Who knows? But yes, that was it. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys get excited. Let me know your comments in the comments below. Let me know how you felt. I want to see you guys' reaction, how you felt. Or things that shocked you and stuff. Because this whole dream, I was there to see it, and it looked amazing. Like, I'm so surprised, man. I really hope this is the future. Like, it showed me the future, because it looked amazing. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you all. See ya.